Hello, this is Joy Paul again. I wanted just to share how some of the ways that I stay connected with other therapists, even though I'm in private practice and I have my own, it's just me essentially in my own business. So some of the ways that I stay connected are, first, I have some office mates. So I rent out an office within a suite. And so I do see other therapists that way. Of course, you want to make sure that you meet the people that you're going to be working with on a daily basis, sharing the break room or sharing the bathroom or whatever that looks like if you are sharing a suite. Just some things to consider that you'd want to make sure that you can get along with this person, that maybe the clientele that they are seeing would have similar maybe needs as your clientele. If you work with certain populations that have a lot of needs, there might be yelling in the waiting room, or just things like that might need to be considered before deciding to start working at the same place as another therapist or therapists. I currently have 2 suite mates. Before I had 2 as well in my last office. So that's one way to stay connected, is to actually work with other therapists in the same suite, or some people share offices as well. I currently don't have enough time to share my office because I do work full time. So that's one way. And then I also really highly recommend being part of consultation groups. I lead one. I tend to be someone who just wants to start things up. And so if someone isn't doing something that I want, then I try to do it myself. So I specifically do EMDR therapy. And so I started an EMDR therapy consultation group. That is a way to stay connected not only with other therapists, but also with the specific modality that you have. So, there might be a consult group that's already in play that has openings, and you could just join right in, or you could start your own just to stay more connected. My consultation group is actually with people from all around the states. So I kind of like that because sometimes it can feel a little, just a little helpful to have different perspectives from different parts of the country. And then another way that I find that I stay connected is I am part of what's called Western Oregon Mental Health Association. And of course, that's specific to my state. But there's also, I know that there's, I believe, an Oregon Counseling Association, and there's other things in my state. And then there's also places like nationally, like American Counseling Association, or if you're a psychologist, the American Psychologist Association, different things more broad that you can join. But then on the local level, there's a number of options typically. So I've joined that, and then I became a board member of WOMHA as well. And so I attend a board meeting every month with other therapists or psychologists, and I stay connected in that way with kind of just the things that are happening on a legislative level specifically, and then also just be able to check in on how our practices are going sometimes as well. And I also meet a lot of other therapists that way too, because of the roles that I have done within the board. So that's a way too to either join a board or join a professional organization. And we have some networking things through that I can stay connected. I've met a number of people through WOMHA, and I find that really helpful. And then a third option would just be to get together with your colleagues locally, if you can. I have a colleague that I met in the group practice where I worked, and she ended up doing her own group practice as well. And so I meet up with her. We try to meet up maybe once every month, once every other month, and we do consultation. And with that too, if you are meeting at a restaurant or something and you're talking about client cases and doing consultation, you can count that as a business expense. I'm not, of course, an accountant or anyone legal, but I just know that if it's business related, you can do that. So that might be helpful to you. And then I would also encourage you, the last thing that I do as well is I'm part of, again, I do EMDR therapy, so I really enjoy meeting other people who do that as well. But I'm a part of a listserv kind of email group that is international. And so I get emails with people who ask questions about, oh, having this trouble with this kind of situation in EMDR, and so we all can comment on it if we want. And that's just a way to sometimes either, I mean, that's how I found my consultation group, is I advertised it that way, and then people let me know, and now we have 6 people in our group. But there's also, you can also just ask questions and get some input from your colleagues with something like that. Again, mine's EMDR specifically, but there could be other places within your modality that you could have it like a networking kind of email type of circumstance. So if you want to try that, that's another option too. So those are just some ideas for right now that I recommend as far as staying connected. Of course, I also think, not just as a therapist, but as a person, it's important to have other people in your life. So if you don't have a lot of a support network where you're at, I encourage you to reach out, whether that's just, in local community events or something like that where you can meet people, or however you find it best to meet people. So just having like a broad range of support is important, I think, especially in private practice. Like I said, my support network is really what really helped me to get started in private practice myself. So I encourage you to stay connected as best as you can. All right, all for now.